Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hey guys.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Dal?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good start to your weekend and has had a good week so far. And for those of you who have seen Endgame, congratulations. For those of you that have not, there will be no spoilers here, but I will probably talk a little bit about it shortly. But before that, Satsu, how are you?
Pretty good. Chilling out most of the day.
And dreaming about countertops.
I see. I was trying to get it out of my head, and now you brought it back.
You guys missed it before the stream began. Satsu was saying how jealous he was of a kitchen. Because Satsu's now completely domesticated. He's a homemaker.
Dude, Monkey, have I not been the type of person who loves cooking and always talked about having a better kitchen?
Indeed.
Exactly. Why are you acting brand new, Scribe?
I'm kind of with him on the kitchen thing, but that's because Lady Monkey turned me into that person.
I see how it is. And how are you, Monkey?
I'm okay, man. Back hurts. I just woke up, but Scribe.
Yes.
I went to watch Reservoir Dogs today.
And you did.
Hang on.
Yeah, and you didn't.
I realized my disk drive in my computer is broken.
Uh-huh.
So I picked it up on Amazon Prime and sat here and watched it today. So I have seen the movie. You can grill me at your leisure.
All right. That will be our deep topic because I want to talk to you at length about that. It'll be a mini movie you should have seen.
I will say, however, for a Tarantino film, this did not have any of those. It came close. It didn't have one of those scenes where, I can't watch this again.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll take that.
How are you, Scribbles?
Well, let me tell you. Okay. So no spoilers, guys. I will not spoil anything. This is a high level. I kind of basically the same thing I said on Twitter earlier. But today I went to see Endgame. Avengers Endgame, by the way. I made it a point not to drink anything after I woke up this morning so that I would be empty as to not have to get up in the middle of the movie to go to the bathroom because it's a 3-hour plus movie.
Mm-hmm.
I still had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the movie.
I don't know. 3 hours is a long time to sit.
It is. The one spoiler I will give, though, there is no need to wait till the end of the credits. Once the credits begin to roll, feel free to leave. There is no end credits scene. Okay? That's not a spoiler. I'm not telling you a lie. There's no reason to sit through the credits. After you've gotten past all of the regular sort of big hubbub, hear all the actors' credits, once the black and white credits start rolling up the screen, just leave. It's 5 or 10 minutes of sitting there that you don't need to do. I wish somebody had said that ahead of time, but I was staying away from any kind of spoilers the last 2 or 3 days, so I don't know. But I'm giving you that piece of advice. You can get up and leave as soon as the credits start to roll. Otherwise, okay. If you have seen every Marvel movie to this point, or at least all of the first, actually no, all the major ones. Okay, I'm not counting like Ant-Man 2 or Guardians of the Galaxy 2, even though that was a decent movie. If you've seen all the major Marvel movies to this point, you will be so happy with this movie. So much payoff. Little things left, right, and center. If you've been paying attention, if you're a fan of those movies, you're going to get so much out of this. Yeah. And I tell you, I had points. I'm not going to lie. I was crying. Not out loud sobbing kind of thing, but tears in my eyes, emotion. There were just, it was so good. So good. So if you're a fan of the Marvel Universe, you're going to love this movie. It is so satisfying, and it resolves, it actually fills in some plot holes that had been plot holes, and also pays off a whole ton of stuff if you've been paying attention. There were a few moments where I could not help but roll my eyes. There's a couple of points that were a little cringy. I won't say how because that might give something away. But aside from those sparse moments within the movie, they're just kind of like, come on. Other than that, it was great. Worth every penny, even though it is 3 hours, save for the fact that I knew that I had to go to the bathroom. The whole time flew by because so much is happening. There's so much ground covered. It's great. But I won't discuss any further about it or in any more detail for at least another week or something to give people a chance to see it and do spoilers. But I think that's a good clock. By next Friday, I think we should be free to talk about spoilers unless something else comes up. So yeah, Monkey, Satsu, I think you'll like it a lot. Satsu, I think you'll like it a lot. But yeah, there's that. But that aside, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And holy cats, a lot of you haven't. You guys, I mean, are you waiting? Like we have to prove it to you every night? I guess that's not a bad thing. If we have to like earn your appreciation every night, you can't take it for granted. I guess that's not a bad thing. All the same, it hurts my feelings. Anyway, and also share our stuff. Please share our stuff. Darkshade says, Googling Thanos is amazing. Yeah, so if you Google the word Thanos and then you click on the Infinity Gauntlet, something happens. That's all I'll tell you. You can do it at home. It won't interrupt the stream or anything. It's funny. And thank you, Eric Hammer. Evening, gents. Angry driving. Don't do that. Yeah. The title refers both to the news and in a very tangential, sideways, referential way to Avengers Endgame. I'm not going to tell you how it does because that'd be giving something away, but it does a little bit. Before we get into any news, we got a tweet from longtime viewer Angela Arriaga yesterday telling us that, save for the fact that she's off doing, she said fair stuff, I'm assuming Ren Fair stuff, she would be here, but she's not, but today is her birthday. I'll just let the dead air sit for a second, I guess, but...
Oh, no, I was doing the thing you said, and it's fucking awesome.
Mine didn't do anything.
You clicked on the gauntlet?
I didn't see a gauntlet.
So Google just Thanos, capital T, Thanos.
Yeah.
Look off to your right.
Oh, I see.
Click on the gauntlet.
I did, yeah.
That was cool.
And then if you click on it a second time after everything's happened, something else happens. It's great. Anyway, Monkey, could you lead us in song for Angela?
Absolutely. Angela, it's your birthday, and I know you're not hearing this live, so try to make it nice for you when you come back. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you get the good song. Scribe's happy.
Happy birthday
to you.
Well, ain't you special?
Happy birthday,
dear
Angela.
Happy birthday, though.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Angela. I hope you have a good one.
Thank you, Three-Sided Coin. Birthday money for Satsu and Monkey given to Scribe because the two money grubbers begging for money this afternoon. Yeah, love all three of you. Were you guys begging for money this afternoon? What? I missed something.
Begging for money?
That never happens.
Oh, okay. Well then. Let's see. Darkshade says message snapped by Thanos. Yes. Oh boy. Well, anyway, shall we get into the schnuzz? Oh, wait, are you guys streaming after this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to play?
We're gonna finish up Borderlands hopefully, and then we're giving away, I believe, Civ 5 tonight. I think I got a copy of that I want to give away. So.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll look for that over on 2 Cents Plus after this. But into the schnews, and in reference to the title, Sunnyvale crash suspect targeted people he believed were Muslim, police say. I don't know if you heard about this. The driver accused of intentionally hitting a group of pedestrians in Northern California attacked people he believed were of the Muslim faith, police said. New evidence shows that Isaiah Joel Peoples also targeted the crowd based on race. Sunnyvale, California. Based on race, Sunnyvale, California Police Chief Fan No told reporters Friday. Okay, that was just a syntax error there for a second. No refused discuss. CNN, no refused discuss. You got a problem with the word to? Okay. No refused discuss the evidence or provide more details about the investigation. Peoples, 34, has been charged with 8 counts of attempted murder for allegedly driving his vehicle into pedestrians in Sunnyvale earlier this week. If convicted, Peoples faces up to life in prison. The suspect briefly appeared in court Friday wearing a prison jumpsuit and peering back at the audience several times. Chuck Smith, an attorney representing Peoples, did not enter a plea and asked the judge to postpone his client's arraignment. Okay. Asked the judge to postpone his client's arraignment. All right. He said Peoples is a religious man who is praying for the people who were injured. You're a religious man, you targeted people because you thought they were Muslim. Okay. Quote, absolutely, we are disputing that this was an intentional act and this is a case of mental disorder, he said. All right. It could be classified as a hate crime. He was an Army veteran, and he was headed to Bible study, he says, on the day that he was targeting those people. Great.
Was he just like driving down the
What
street,
a jackass.
hoping to see Muslims?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's crazy, but I don't know if that's going to be their firm offense. We'll see. Well, yeah, guys, don't drive into people intentionally. Just don't. I know it kind of goes without saying.
Oh,
Earlier this week, like on Wednesday, I think, or something. I don't think it. Yeah, I think Biden kind of took the air out of the sails of a lot of other things going on this week. But yeah, I saw some security camera footage of it. I think they'd released some of that. It didn't look pretty, but then I mean nobody died, thankfully, but a lot of people were injured. So. Let's see. So, moving on from that, remember how we had a story not too long ago where they had recalled a little children's sleeper because it could kill them?
Yeah.
Another one has been recalled after 5 infant deaths.
wow.
Kids 2, that's KIDS, the number 2, rocking sleepers recalled after 5 infant deaths. Kids 2 recalled all models of its rocking sleepers on Friday after 5 infant deaths in the sleepers. The recall affects nearly 700,000 products sold under brands such as Bright Stars, Ingenuity, and Disney Baby. Kids 2, also known as Kids Roman numeral 2, introduced rocking sleepers in March 2012. Since then, 5 infant deaths have occurred, quote, after the infants rolled from their back to their stomach while unrestrained or under other circumstances. The sleepers were sold by major retailers, including Walmart, Target, and Toys R Us, according to an announcement from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. Parents should immediately stop using the Kids 2 sleepers and contact Kids 2 toll-free for a refund or a voucher. The announcement comes on the heels of a similar recall of Fisher-Price Rock-and Play sleepers after the popular product was linked to more than 30 infant deaths in 10 years. That recall affected about 4.7 million sleepers, officials said. Just get a crib, just or like a little one of those little rocking cribs. Just leave them, old-fashioned. It works.
Was this?
Why the hell does this shit happen in like a domino effect? It's just like all this time we haven't been hearing about it, and now it's just like, oh, here we go. It's just chain reaction.
Well, if you work at Walmart, these things happen all the time. There's actually a board inside Walmart's where they put up product recalls, and like more than half of them are baby things.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say since 2012?
Well, no, they were released in 2012. They introduced the rocking sleepers in 2012. Since then, 5 infant deaths since 2012.
Okay, oh, never mind. I see. To me, this is another one. Look, that's horrible. Stop using them if they're telling you to use them. But that's less than a death a year.
Like for something that's being mass produced, that from a rich person sitting on a committee who was in control of that, they're like, those are great numbers. I mean, obviously you want it to be none, but
sure.
Yeah.
And if they can actually point to it and go, yes, this is what happened, yeah, absolutely stop using it. But there's far more dangerous products out there.
Just get an old fashioned. I think in a closet here I've got an heirloom, so to speak, of like a crib that my sister and I had when we were little babies. It's just basically a wooden box with two sort of like half moon pieces of wood underneath, and it just rocks back and forth. You know, there's nothing fancy about it. You put a blanket in there. Ta-da! These weird plastic half metal things with the little scoop chairs and this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old fashioned.
One of the issues I found with those things, and probably a result of most of the deaths, is a lot of people leave their kids in them, like allow them to sleep in them or whatever. I'm like, that's not what they're for. Like, they're to sit your kid in there temporarily if you got something going on, or if they're awake and they're active, but that is not a bed. Like, they're not supposed to sleep in there, technically.
I mean, when I saw this one and when I saw the Fisher Price one, I thought, you know those Papasan chairs that's just basically like a round cushion and a little frame? That's what it looked like to me. And I just thought, that doesn't look like something you put a small baby in. I don't know. I'm not a parent or anything, but like I say, maybe I'm just old fashioned, but apparently it's not a thing you want to put your kid in anyway, because they're all being recalled. So, let's see. Pincalo's asking for a link. Yeah, I can maybe, did they already take it off the thing? They did. Okay. So yeah, CNN already, that was their top story for a moment or five, but now it's the car driving thing. Pincalo, just Google kids 2 KIDS, the number 2 rocker, and you'll find it lickety split. How about some political news?
Here's the link.
Hooray.
Oh, did you find it? Okay.
Yeah, I just typed in CNN recall and that story came up. So there you go.
Okay. If you don't already know, can you guess how much money Joe Biden pulled in on his first day of officially campaigning?
Let's see. He was asking for $5 per supporter. So I'm going to say $10.
Okay. Satsu?
I'm going to add several zeros and say $1 million.
$6.3 million.
Oh.
Was it all through $5? No. Go ahead. Read.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe Biden tops Democratic field with $6.3 million haul on first day of 2020 bid. Joe Biden's campaign said it raised $6.3 million in the first 24 hours of his presidential campaign launch, a haul that surpassed the day one amounts collected by his rivals in the crowded Democratic field. Biden's fundraising total underscores his prominence in the party as a former vice president with near universal name recognition and a cadre of supporters built up over decades in the Senate and 8 years at President Barack Obama's side. More than 96,900 people donated online to the former vice president's campaign, his aide said. A source familiar with the figures said the total does not include any general election funds. That means the money can all be used for the nomination battle against the 19 other Democrats seeking the party's nod. Of that haul, $4.4 million was raised through online donations. His campaign on Friday also touted new support for his bid, saying that 65,000 donations came from individuals who were not on previous email lists. Quote, "We are incredibly heartened by the energy and enthusiasm displayed throughout the country for Joe Biden," his deputy campaign manager, Kate Bedingfield, said in a statement. 12 hours after announcing Biden met the fundraising criteria to appear in the early Democratic National Committee debates, his aide said. Candidates must raise money from 65,000 donors in at least 20 states or meet polling thresholds to join the first 2 debates. That was slightly poetic, but I didn't know that was the criteria. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Biden's campaign did not immediately disclose the total number of unique donors who supported his campaign beyond those who contributed online. Biden's one-day haul puts him ahead of the $5.9 million raised by Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders in the first 24 hours of his campaign. But Sanders, who is relying on a small donor army built during his 2016 campaign and sustained in the years since, drew on a huge pool of donors. More than 223,000 individual contributors powered Sanders' first-day fundraising. Okay, so, interesting. Former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke raised $6.1 million during his first day as a presidential candidate, but the total included nearly $300,000 in money only available for the general election. Yeah, but still, if Beto can raise just slightly under what Biden got on his first day, that doesn't say all that much about Biden, I hate to tell you. I mean, 6.1 versus 6.3. And if $300,000 of that was otherwise, that's not that big of a margin.
And how many of those people knew they were donating directly to the general fund only?
Right.
That's, I'm so curious.
About?
Well, just the figures you gave for those three, if I'm doing the math correctly in my head, that is $17 million.
6.3 plus 5.9 plus 6.1.
Okay, something around there.
Yeah, sure.
They have all these causes they want my government money to go to. Donate to your fucking causes, assholes. Stop throwing it to these dickheads. That's all. I remember thinking this about the election. Well, first in 2012 and then 2016, seeing the totals coming in, the amount of money donated to these assholes, the amount of money spent in these fucking elections. I just don't feel ads actually sway too many people.
Who watches TV anymore? Who doesn't just Roku through the fucking ads these days?
Right. And there's so many better things. Don't send your money to a politician. Send it to me.
Monkey 2020.
Well, I've been running for president since I turned 35. I've told you guys that before, but it will not go to my presidential election fund. It will go to the fuck those other guys fund.
If I thought I could actually do it, I would start a Kickstarter for Moonbase. I really would. I'd be like, hey, Moonbase. Hey, Elon Musk, Moonbase. Hey, China, Japan, Moonbase. Let's go. Someday, maybe. Anyway, as far as the money goes, it boggles my mind that this amount of money, most of these guys are independently wealthy in and of themselves.
Yep.
If you look at how much money Trump's campaign spent versus Hillary spent on their campaign, and he still won the presidency.
Biden announced yesterday.
Yes.
He was in the news all day yesterday.
Yes.
The people who watch this kind of stuff, how many of them don't know who Joe Biden is?
Mm-hmm.
How much free advertising did he get all day yesterday? Oh, but it's okay because now he has $6 million to tell you about why sniffing people is good.
Thank you, Diesel Dave. Oh, goody, we drafted a DL with an attitude problem. DL. Tailed Feature says Scotland Moonshine Base.
Oh, there you go.
What?
That's probably a lot more doable.
Scotland's not going to claim the moon first. God damn it.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's more doable.
The moon is the missing star on the American flag, people.
Oh, defensive lineman. He's talking about the
okay.
NFL draft.
Oh, I don't know nothing about the NFL draft, so.
I didn't watch any of it, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna conquer the moon, and its national motto will be "Goat Throttle." Right, fucking moon. All right. Hey, Tailed, you gonna be awake for a while? You want to come on the show? I don't know. Are you drunk? Are you moonshined? Is that what's going on? Let me know if you want. Well, the other thing, as far as politics today, was Trump responding to Biden about Charlottesville.
Oh, dear Christ.
Remember, we read about how Biden's opening statement was criticizing Trump for the Charlottesville comments.
Fucking Robert E. Lee was trending in my goddamn mentions today.
Dale says, annex Scotland, then we will be the 51st star and our moon. Let's see. Well, okay, tell you what, I will send you the link, Tail, if you can, you want to, by all means. If you're too sleepy, I understand. It is a completely different hour over there. I hate. I'm not, if I become president, I'm going to eliminate time zones. Just going to get rid of them. That's going to homogenize time across all the world. That'll make sense.
That'll probably create some interesting problems.
That's right. All right. Analysis by Nicole Hemmer. Charlottesville wasn't about Robert E. Lee, Mr. President. It was about racism. Okay. After former Vice President Joe Biden used the violence in Charlottesville to frame his presidential campaign launch on Thursday, President Trump shot back, defending his controversial claim that there were, quote, very fine people, unquote, on both sides of the white supremacist rally that ended with the death of Heather Heyer and a helicopter crash that killed 2 police. What does the helicopter crash have to do with the protest? Except for the fact that it was there for the protest. The protest did not cause the helicopter to crash.
No,
you didn't hear about the white supremacists with the rocket launcher?
Did I miss something? Why are you bringing up? Wasn't that a mechanical error or something?
Yeah, I don't remember the cause of it. But
yeah, it was some kind of mechanical mishap, and you're attributing that to. Okay, this is already going just bonkers. Okay, quote, I was talking about people that went because they felt very strongly about the monument to Robert E. Lee, unquote, Trump said in an answer to a reporter's question on Friday. Quote, people there were protesting the taking down of that monument to Robert E. Lee. Everybody knows that, unquote. Trump's decision to double down on his very fine people comments more than a year and a half after the deadly Unite the Right rally was particularly shocking because of everything that has happened since. Okay. Investigations have made clear that the rallygoers engaged in coordinated attacks of political violence. Yes.
All of them?
Well, I don't know. She says rallygoers. Is she talking about people on both sides? Because people on both sides did. Including the Torchlight rally on August 11, 2017, in which they chanted, Jews will not replace us, unquote, before attacking anti-racist demonstrators on the grounds of the University of Virginia.
Anti-racist demonstrators who were yelling racist slurs out at people and attacking anybody with white skin. Cool.
Okay, now I hope she explains the backing of this next sentence. So that was one sentence. The next sentence starts, and subsequent massacres in the United States and abroad have shown how deadly their ideology continues to be.
Yep.
But Trump's defense of his comments that some of the people attending a rally organized by white supremacists and featuring neo-Nazis and Klansmen as speakers were simply innocent statue defenders also ignores the way the statue controversy in Charlottesville was chosen by alt-right leaders as a way to expand and gain legitimacy for their white supremacist movement.
You do realize that this is saying that all the Antifa people, the girl who got hit by the car, all of them, they all were racist white supremacists, because that's what they're saying. Every single person that was there, no matter what the reason was, they were there for racism. It doesn't matter. The police, everybody, concession people, anybody selling stuff, every single human that was in that area is a white supremacist racist. That's the narrative that they're pushing right now.
Well, the part I don't understand is gain legitimacy for their white supremacist movement. Nicole, okay, how many representatives in Congress stand for white supremacy?
They all do. Well, all the ones that they don't like do.
They
if
have.
You need any evidence, just look at the violence that happened.
Yeah, okay. The violence in Charlottesville was not, at its heart, about Robert E. Lee or about history at all. Well, okay, now that part I will agree with her. It was just a reason. It wasn't, I don't think there were a bunch of history buffs there who were ticked off. I think it was
Well,
it was a convenient excuse.
You have to back up because the march for that was planned anyway, and then the Unite the Right thing came around it.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Also, she said the violence. There was only a handful of people involved in violent behavior. There was one person in the car who hit one person on the street, and there were little pockets of people fighting or whatever. If she's going to frame the sentence, the violence there wasn't about the statue, then obviously it wasn't, because there was a few little pockets of people, but every single person there wasn't violent. Like it wasn't a big ass riot. Like it wasn't all out war. And that's what they're trying to make it seem like. Like they just went there and there was a giant war and everybody fought to the death.
Let's see. The people who gathered in Charlottesville throughout the summer of 2017 did so in an explicit attempt to unite the alt-right with the broader American right around issues of white rights and racism. In early 2017, white supremacist organizer Richard Spencer and Charlottesville-based alt-right activist Jason Kessler turned their attention to Charlottesville in a recent city council decision to remove the statues of Lee and Stonewall Jackson from the city's public parks. Confederate statues have long blurred the line between white nationalism and regional pride, offering plausible deniability for the white supremacists who wanted to use the statues as their new cause du jour. On May 13th, 2017, Spencer joined Mike Enoch, a neo-Nazi blogger and podcaster, and 100 or so other self-identified members of the alt-right in Charlottesville. They gathered around the statue of Jackson to give speeches about why the statues had to be defended. These speeches, full-throated declarations of white supremacy, did not try to hide or temper their politics. Well, they don't need to. It's free speech. Even speech you don't like, still free speech. To that point, they hadn't done anything wrong. Unless they didn't have a permit, I guess. Quote, "This is more than just Confederate monuments," Enoch declared. "This is images of white people, images of white heroes, images of white warriors that are being torn down to attack and demoralize the white race, to be replaced by, quote, a mixed, muddy people." Oh, God. Spencer followed...
And what is the difference? I'm sorry, Scribe. What is the difference between that and fucking and the Black Israelites and Antifa and Black Lives Matter coming out talking about black people being erased, monuments of black people or whatever being destroyed, to break up black families and destroy the black image? Like what exactly is the difference? They're exactly the same thing. Just one is okay and the other's not.
Let's see. I think our author here meant to put a period after that quote, but she didn't. So it just kind of runs into the next sentence. Spencer followed with a speech that argued the removal of the Lee statue was the first step towards white genocide. Yeah, okay. And Nicole, you think that notion has legitimacy in this country? Okay. The men put in bald terms what defenders of the Confederacy seldom stated or even acknowledged: the deeply racist history behind the statues and their subjects.
Fuck off.
If that daytime event was about white supremacy, the nighttime event was about white power. 100 members. 100 people. Wow. 100 members of the alt-right returned to Lee Park with torches. They circled the statue of Lee and changed? Changed? Do you mean chanted? Do you mean chanted, author of this article? For fuck's sake. Changed. Okay, I'm going to read it like it's written. They circled the statue of Lee and changed blood and soil and "you will not replace us." Changed. Changed to what? I don't know. You meant chanted, didn't you? G and T. Let's see, where are G and T on the keyboard? Yeah, they are right next to each other. Man, if only you proofread your own shit. 2 weeks later, Kessler applied for a permit for the Unite the Right rally. Okay. The speakers for the planned rally included Spencer, Kessler, Enoch, Ku Klux Klan organizer David Duke, and several other neo-Nazis, neo-Confederates, and white supremacists. That lineup, plus the May statue rally and torch burning, put white power rhetoric and violence at the heart of the planned rally in Charlottesville. Granted, and you know what? If nobody had gone there and started a ruckus, we wouldn't have heard about it. You know how many like white supremacists or Ku Klux Klan marches take place in the country every year and nobody gives a shit because nobody bothers with them? They do their bit.
Yeah.
They make their statement.
Fact.
Yeah, and then they go away.
Hey, fact.
And that's why I said this worked out perfect for them because they were able to take advantage of this situation. They knew where they were going to be. They knew exactly who to send. They knew the people that they sent were going to start shit. They knew violence was going to break out. And they said, look at those violent people. We sent people out there to beat their ass and they fought back.
Look.
Okay, now,
Well,
while I'm usually loath to try and defend Trump, if he was saying that the good people there were the ones who were actually just upset about the statue, he's not technically wrong that there were people there that weren't there about racism, but were there because of history and everything else. That number was probably exceedingly small after the first day, given the other people that were around, but there might have been a few people there. But no, yeah, everything else there was fueled by alt-right, white supremacist, racism bullshit. No doubt. And lady, you're not telling us anything we don't already know. You want to call the president hand-waving away the racism? He said there were good people on both sides. Now, I don't, he's also saying that people did violence on both sides. You forgot that part of his little comments too. Both sides,
They don't like to bring up that part, Scribe.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah.
The funny part of that article. The funny part of that article is them. How dare he defend this after a year and a half? Why the fuck are you talking about it after a year and a half?
What does a year and a half have to do with about it anyway?
Well, basically, they're saying that
brought it up for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Biden brought it up, so Trump has to talk about it again, and now you're holding him to account for something that Biden accused him about yesterday. Like, okay.
Well, they're saying that the fact that Trump saw what everybody else saw. The fact that there were some people there for some reason and some people there for another. There were shitty people on one side, shitty people on the other. And he simply pointed that out. Now, what they're saying is because of the fact that there are some of the shitty people that were there or who may have influenced other people or whatever, those shitty actions took place. So regardless of that truth, he should have walked back that statement and be like, yeah, well, I did say there were some good people on the other side, but some of those people who were bad made other bad stuff happen too. So I guess that statement now is false. It doesn't make any sense. Like they're saying because bad shit happened afterwards that involved the same horrible people who he condemned, that I guess it changes the good people who were there to not do violence and who left because there was violent shit going on. Are all of a sudden now horrible, violent people, I guess?
I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So Trump, you're horrible for responding to a question about something that one of your opponents said yesterday. And you've been doing it for a year now. Anyway, moving on to MSS News, because we're past that time already.
And he answered.
Sorry, what?
I said, we asked him a question and he answered, the bastard.
Yeah. He should have answered it a year ago. Guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll do the best that we can, or at least until my voice gives out. So, that being said, this one comes from Froggy, the 5-foot-tall red-headed female. That's how I think of Froggy now. I just have this image of a 5-foot-tall red-headed female.
Cool.
Actually, most days I have an image of a 5-foot-tall redheaded female in my head, but that's another story. Meth-smoking Florida man attacks mattress in jealous rage.
What?
Okay, I'm going to read that again. Like I was saying the other night, there's just sometimes where a chain of words is something that you never thought you'd ever see, and then it suddenly happens. Meth-smoking Florida man attacks mattress in jealous rage.
All right.
Thank you, Sir Wolfgang. Trump should have said Charlottesville was some people doing some things. Oh,
yeah,
that would have been.
Oh, dude,
that would have made their head.
That would have been perfect. To watch people tear that phrase apart, like what a disgusting, horrible thing to say, and just have everybody putting those two things next to each other, like, well, that's different because she's brown.
All right. An apparently hallucinating Florida man used a bedpost to attack a mattress where he thought a man was hiding.
What?
Doesn't get any better than this, guys. In a Facebook post, the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office quotes the girlfriend of 37-year-old Felipe Okendo, I'm probably saying that wrong, as saying that he began acting erratically early Friday. The girlfriend told deputies that Okendo thought she was cheating on him with a man he thought he saw in the mattress at their Fort Walton Beach home. She said Okendo, I don't know, hit the mattress with a bedpost, ripped it apart, and locked the bedroom door. She was able to escape and call police. The sheriff's office says Okendo later admitted to having smoked meth.
Shocking.
That's funny. Okay. Next up, this one comes from Frosted Glass. Okay, this is an opinion from The Guardian filed under Walt Disney Company. Okay. It's right to save our children from Dumbo and this song of slavery.
Oh, God.
It's 73 years since Song of the South was first released in cinemas, and Disney can now tacitly admit something cine-literate parents have known all along. Not all films theoretically made for children are suitable to be viewed by actual human children. Okay. When Disney Plus, the company's streaming site, launches in the US in November, this 1946 film about an idyllic Reconstruction-era slave plantation will be omitted from the catalog, as will the similarly controversial Jim Crow scene from Dumbo. Good. Well, first off, they've basically written off Song of the South for years and years now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're not going to have it on their streaming service doesn't surprise me in the least. And if they took the Jim Crow scene from Dumbo, okay, I don't think it really affects the story or anything, but I don't even remember what that was. I've seen Dumbo. I saw Dumbo a lot when I was a kid. I don't remember what that scene was supposed to be.
I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yeah.
And any of the kids who see it now won't either, but they'll be sure to give them a full and thorough explanation and fully educate them on the thing that they're seeing, because that's protecting your kids from things. Taking something that they do not understand at all, that is completely harmless, and then giving them the entire full context and telling them why they're pieces of shit for enjoying it.
Some will see this as just another example of history being rewritten to match current cultural sensitivities.
Well, it is.
It totally is. But Song of the South hasn't suddenly fallen foul of hyper-vigilant offense junkies. It was always a bit racist.
A bit.
Lady, so are you glad or not glad that Disney isn't broadcasting this anymore, which they haven't in years? What are you complaining about? Is what I guess I'm asking. Disney's done exactly what I would assume you want to have happen, but now you're telling us why they should be doing what they're doing? Okay, and then she goes into a bunch of personal anecdote stuff about her having seen this movie when she was like a kid. And did you hum zippity doodah? Oh, now you're a racist. Okay, anyway. Thank you, Sanguine. It is the scene where Dumbo actually learns to fly, so it is a crucial scene. Is it? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember what the scene was or how that was related to Jim Crow. So I must have missed something, obviously. I was watching it as a little kid watching a cartoon elephant fly. I wasn't watching it for its political or racial or undertones, amazingly enough. Anyway, this one comes from Massive Dynamics. Florida man shoots bully shark. Bully shark. You can shoot a nuisance giraffe, but if you take care of a shark, you're a bad person? A nuisance giraffe? Did I miss something? A Florida man has faced a social media backlash after posting a video to Instagram showing him shooting a shark with a pistol while fishing. Buddy Tomei, a Greater Naples firefighter, is currently being investigated by Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission after footage of the shooting was shared thousands of times online. The video has since been deleted from the social media platform. Florida officials said it is against the law, a second-degree misdemeanor, to shoot sharks in state waters. However, it was not immediately clear where the incident took place. According to WBBH-TV, which cited the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, it is considered legal to shoot at a shark that has been fished in federal waters. That jurisdiction currently begins 9 miles offshore. Okay, so now they just need to determine whether or not he was 9 or more miles offshore, I guess. Okay. I don't know if it was attacking them or something. I don't know. I don't know if you can shoot a shark unless it's like biting through your boat. Thank you, Sanguine. Jim Crow was the name of the lead crow. That's it?
So rename him Henry Crow.
Is that honestly all there was? That was the only reference to Jim Crow, was that a crow, a cartoon crow was named Jim? Is that it?
They also talked like stereotypical black people, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'll grant you that.
I don't know. I'm
okay.
I'm really annoyed, so I'm gonna mute myself.
All right. Let's see. Moving on. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Stop putting ads in my face. Man says he is too fat for DUI test. Okay. I don't know how, like, I mean, walking a straight line, maybe, is that it? A man told deputies he was too fat to participate in a field sobriety exercise, but that didn't get him out of a DUI arrest. Oh, surprise, surprise. Rolando Gonzalez, 57, was arrested April 5th by Martin County Sheriff's deputies after investigators stopped his van at Southwest Cornell Avenue and Southwest Martin Highway. Deputies said the van had traveled 30 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour speed zone and drove significantly off the road. Gonzalez smelled of booze. His shorts were urine stained and his zipper was open, the affidavit states. How attractive. Deputies inquired of Gonzalez whether he had any medical issues that may impact his ability to walk or balance. Gonzalez said he was disabled and, quote, can't see my feet over my stomach, unquote. Still, Gonzalez said he walks his dog every day. Asked whether he could stand on one leg, Gonzalez says, no, I'm too fat. His weight is listed as 400 pounds. Yeah, he's a fat guy. No doubt about it. Yeah. Okay.
So why I don't understand how his fat makes it so he can't take the field sobriety part of it.
Yeah, he can't balance on one foot because he's too fat.
Get up and try, fat ass.
Yeah,
at least it'll make a great scene on Cops.
Well, they didn't need to do the test because enough probable cause is right there to say, yeah, he's probably drunk or not fit to drive. Moving on. This one comes from Devil Fruit Zero. Raiders fan criticized over hanging Kaepernick doll from pickup truck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is a noose around that doll's neck. Won't deny. A San Jose man is catching heat for dangling a Colin Kaepernick doll from his pickup truck by his neck with a chain. The truck belongs to an Oakland Raiders fan who calls himself Raider Rob. On Thursday, he said the uproar is all a big misunderstanding. Okay. It all began with a Twitter post. San Jose State University senior Joanna Acevedo took the photos at a gas station in South San Jose showing the Kaepernick doll hanging by a chain from the truck's bumper. Quote, we should create a conversation around these little subtle implements of racism to combat the overall systemic reality that people are being oppressed, Acevedo told KPIX 5. That's a very practiced, buzzword-filled smorgasbord right there. Raider Rob, who sits in the black hole at the Oakland Coliseum, did not want his face shown on camera. He said the doll and his Raider logo-covered black truck are meant to signify the Bay Bridge rivalry, not racism. Quote, I'm just a Raiders fan, he said. Nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with race. It's just a rivalry, that's all. Kaepernick is no longer the 49ers quarterback or even playing in the NFL, and yet somehow still making millions of dollars. And his kneeling protest during the national anthem to call attention to racial inequality and injustice drew both praise and heavy criticism. Raider Rob says the doll has been hanging from the back of his truck for 3 years and hasn't gone viral until now. He says he understands the criticism of the doll hanging by the neck. Quote, I get that, but a lot of people are very sensitive nowadays, he says. But I'm Mexican. I've dealt with racism my whole life, too. To say I'm racist is absurd. Well, no. I don't know if you're racist or not, but just because you're not white doesn't mean you can't be racist, unless you're a racist.
Why? Okay, look. People might not want to hear this. Fuck Kaepernick. Let me get that out of the way. What does a quarterback who hasn't played for the Niners in, 4 seasons now, have to do with the Bay City rivalry?
I have no idea, unless it's just sort of. He says it's been on there for 3 years.
Well, if that's true, then okay, I can give him that.
Yeah,
but
maybe
otherwise,
Kaepernick was a figure at the time, maybe.
it's been on there that long and nobody's noticed it before now?
Yeah, that's what he says.
All right. Why not change it to the current?
Yeah. Well, that still invokes lynching.
Yeah, but at least then you can make the argument. No, it's just the quarterback from the other team. Because you know what? Raiders fans are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yes, I know there's to invoke Donald Trump. There are some good ones. Fucking crazy.
Thank you, Sanguine. Yep, the crows that talked like black hecklers with the lead one named Jim is what all the fuss is over. So for that, they are getting rid of the scene where Dumbo learns to fly.
Yeah, it's retarded.
Okay, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, because you know what I walked away from watching Dumbo with? Boy, I became a complete racist against crows is what I did when I was a little kid. That's what that movie did to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Because that's what little kids understand when they're watching a fucking cartoon. Anyway, moving on. This one comes from Shady Grin. Let's see. And it's the Washington Post. So the Washington Post does not want me to read their stuff because I won't pay their subscription fee. So I'll read the caption. The headline says, last year, #LivingWhileBlack went viral. Now a city wants to make biased 911 calls. And then it cuts off the headline because Washington Post doesn't know how to be concise. The subheading says, the law would make it a criminal misdemeanor to racially profile while calling 911.
How do you prove that's what it was?
Yeah, but experts say it could be difficult to enforce. Yeah, so you're going to criminalize based on mind reading. Okay.
Do you know what that's gonna cause? There was a crime, a shooting over here. What did he look like?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can't disclose that information.
Yeah. I plead the fifth on the grounds it may incriminate me to be charged with something I'm not actually doing.
Yeah.
Look, there was a spat of, and I'm sorry, black folks that got this called on you. Those they're not just calling them on you because you're black. It's because they're white ladies who want to talk to your manager and who have nothing better to do but fuck with other people that aren't fucking with them. Goddamn.
My vocabulary senses must correct you, monkey.
What I did.
So I think the word you meant to use was spate, not spat.
Whatever.
SPATE. A spate of incidents is like a series. A spat is where you're arguing between people.
Fair enough. In chat, press 1 if you didn't understand what I said. Press 2 if you needed his clarification.
Press 3 if you appreciate good grammar.
They don't appreciate good grammar. They're listening to me. Look, they're listening to all three of us, but they're putting up with me. So good grammar that's high on their list.
Okay, we'll do a couple more since we started late. 4, 4, 4, 4. Check your logic. You only get 1 vote. 3, 4, 3, 3, 3. 2 plus 3. 2.5. 3, 3, 3, 3. 11 teams is Moonshock. Yeah, okay. And yeah, spamming the chat doesn't help your case, guys. All right.
It doesn't. One's
okay, this one comes from Shrouded Angel. Sounds mysterious. Shrouded Angel. Parrot seized by cops for warning druggie owner about raid.
What?
A parrot in Brazil was taken into custody for warning his drug-dealing owner that cops were about to launch a raid, squawking, "Mummy, police."
It's a bird.
The green-feathered watchdog began screeching loudly the moment officers showed up at his home in the eastern city of Teresina. Quote, he must have been trained for that, unquote, a police officer involved in the operation told the paper. Quote, as soon as police got close, he began shouting, unquote. The loyal loudmouth, whose name was not reported, was seized by cops and placed in a chicken wire cage at a local police station, but the bird is refusing to sing like a canary. Quote, so far it hasn't made a sound, a local journalist reported, according to a paper. The parrot's owner, known as India, has been busted twice for drug trafficking in the past. Her husband, known only as Edvan, 30, was arrested during the raid when cops found crack cocaine in the home. The parrot was later taken to the Teresina Zoo. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well, it's a good parrot.
He's like, I'm not saying shit, pigs.
Me to talk, coppers. All right.
So if the bird hadn't said that, they'd have left it there.
I don't know.
They just took his owner to jail.
And the parrot didn't do a very good job since the guy was arrested.
Yeah. He's a bad stool pigeon. Okay,
I'm going to read just a couple more, guys, and then we'll move on. This one comes from Ms. Slim 1. Well, except for Minding Freedom. I guess she's our favorite German at this point, because Minding Freedom has been around in a while. Do we know of any other Germans offhand?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, I know a little German. He's sitting over there. Hello. Court says using chalk on tires for parking enforcement violates the Constitution. Okay. The next time parking enforcement officers use chalk to mark your tires, they might be acting unconstitutionally. A federal appeals court ruled Monday that chalking is a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
The fuck is chalking?
So if you, so let's say you're parking in a parking lot where there's a time limit on you being able to park there. Mm-hmm. The parking officer comes around and he chalks the tires at the bottom, right? Puts little marks where either on the top of the tire or the bottom of the tire to show whether or not the tire is moved. And then when he makes his rounds again, if the mark's still there and the time has passed since he checked in on that spot, then that person is, over their time or something. That's what chalking does. Okay. The case was brought by Allison Taylor, a Michigan woman whom the court describes as a, quote, frequent recipient of parking tickets, unquote. The city of Saginaw, Michigan, like countless other cities around the country, uses chalk to mark the tires of cars to enforce time limits on parking. By the time Taylor received her 15th citation in just a few years, excuse me, she decided to go after the city, and specifically after parking enforcement officer Tabitha Hoskins. Hoskins, Taylor alleged in her lawsuit, was a prolific chalker. Every single one of Taylor's 15 tickets was issued by Hoskins after she marked a tire with chalk and then circled back to see if Taylor's car had moved. That chalking, Taylor argued, was unconstitutional. Quote, trespassing... Sorry?
That's retarded. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I don't know yet. Let's read the argument. Quote, trespassing upon a privately owned vehicle parked on a public street to place a chalk mark to begin gathering information to ultimately impose a government sanction is unconstitutional under the Fourth Amendment, Taylor's lawyer Philip Ellison wrote in a court filing. A three-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit unanimously agreed. Chalking tires is a kind of trespass, Judge Bernice Donald wrote for the panel, and it requires a warrant. The decision affects the Sixth Circuit, which includes Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. The Fourth Amendment protects people from, quote, unreasonable searches and seizures, unquote. I don't see how that's unreasonable.
It's not.
If you're enforcing a time limit on a parking area, it might be publicly owned, but maybe it's our public area, but maybe it's government controlled, obviously. To determine whether a violation has occurred, the court first asks whether the government's conduct counts as a search. If so, it asks whether the search was reasonable. The court found that chalking is indeed a search for purposes of the Fourth Amendment because government officials physically trespass upon a constitutionally protected area to obtain information.
Whoa.
The outside of a tire?
No. There's keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just as the Supreme Court ruled in 2012 that sticking a GPS tracker to a car counted as a search, so is marking a tire with chalk to figure out how long it has been parked. And that search wasn't reasonable, the court said. The city searches vehicles, quote, that are parked legally without probable cause or even so much as individualized suspicion of wrongdoing, the touchstone of the reasonableness standard.
No, oh God. Okay.
Quote, we don't think everyone deserves free parking, Ellison, the attorney who brought the case, told the Associated Press, but the process Saginaw selected is unconstitutional. I'm very glad the 3 judges who got this case took it seriously. It affects so many people. Who's tapping?
Is it this sound? Hang on.
Me.
Yes, I heard a tapping sound. I don't know if
I was biting my bottom lip in a weird way, running the blood vessels through my teeth.
How does biting your lip make a tapping sound?
That's the only sound I know that was going on.
Oh, okay. Is your lip made of plastic or something?
Kind of sounds like it when you do that.
Okay. Well then.
Anyhow, if this gets challenged further, I don't say they're lucky this was in the 6th Court of Appeal, because if this was in the 9th, they'd have laughed it the fuck out like it should have been. Jim is taking their side, and okay, I get that. I think that is a gross perversion of unreasonable search and seizure. They're marking the outside of your tire. Everything that has been ruled on your car being your personal space, none of it has been because of something outside of your car like that. Even the tracker that they're talking about there, that was put underneath the carriage. That was underneath the outside of your. It wasn't slapped on the side of the tire where you could like fucking see it. We're talking about a woman.
Yeah, but would it have been better if it was? Like, would it have been different? Like, if they took that tracker and not put it under the carriage, but they put it on your tire?
No. The point being that all of it is within your car, and this is literally on the outside. It doesn't harm your car. Yeah. This is a perversion. It's a perversion. Stop it. The bitch got.
I feel like it's a very powerful technicality. That's what it seems like to me.
The rhetoric the lawyer gave for or the affidavit or whatever sounded a lot like sovereign citizen speak to me.
Yeah, it does. There's no search of the vehicle there.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be held up as it probably proceeds up the chain, but I guess we'll wait and see.
It's got one more spot. I mean, the city of Saginaw wants to take it on, and that'll go to the Supreme Court.
I guess the way, if you think about it, because they are searching your vehicle for something, a mark that they put on it. So, I mean, like I said, a technicality, it just seems like a really huge technicality, because they put a mark on your car, and they are coming back with the explicit reason to search for that mark. So it's
how is that any different than a license plate? The government puts a license plate on your car, requires it, in fact.
Your license plate is already on it.
Yeah, license plate's already, but it's a mark that the government requires be put on your car to enforce the law. Okay, and if the law of that area or the rules are that you can't park there for more than an hour, they put a mark on your car, which is no different than a license plate for the sake of indicating your car's legitimacy in that space. Ta-da!
But you consent to it. You go and get a license plate and you put it on your car. Like you didn't consent to a cop walking up to your car and marking it for it so they can come back and see if you like that's.
Sorry,
I don't know. I feel like there's a difference, and like I said, it's a technicality. I still think it's stupid too, but like I said, I think it holds up because technically, they are searching your car.
Sorry for interrupting.
It's not inside.
Okay, either you're cutting out for me or I'm cutting out for you, because I don't mean to interrupt you, but you like I heard you stop talking and that's when I started talking, but either I think you're cutting out or something.
I heard a bit of Satsu.
It could be me.
Anyway, what I was going to say was if you're parking in a spot that is clearly marked as this is a 1 hour place, you are consenting tacitly to only being there for a certain amount of time. So if the government wants to mark your car to enforce that rule, it's no different than a license plate, except it's not permanent.
Because what's the other option? The cop has to actually stand there for an hour to watch your car?
Yeah.
Well, I assume there were parking. Is this like without the addition of parking meters or anything? Like, I'm confused. Like aren't there like parking meters?
From the sounds of it, no. This sounds like there's 1 hour parking and there's no meter.
Yeah. Diesel Dave, thank you. At the least, it is vandalism. I spent an hour polishing my rims and armoralling my tires. It's a chalk mark. Come on. I mean, if they were writing like Kilroy was here or something, you might have a point. But anyway.
You're gonna find few people more than me who love my freedom and Constitution, but this one's a joke.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, thank you, Sanguine. How much did the lawyer in this cost? Somehow I think it is more than a parking fee at a metered spot or a lot. I don't know. If the lady's got like a bunch of parking tickets to pay, he might have been working pro bono.
Well, they said she had 15 tickets.
Yeah.
15 goddamn tickets. Oh, fuck off.
Okay, so on to YouTube. Guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Sorry I didn't get to them all, but some are just more time intensive than others. So Satsu, what were you up to today?
Editing, pretty much, and playing Final Fantasy. First video and lineup is coming out tomorrow, and then I got another video coming out 2 days after that, and then another video 2 days after that. And then I'm thinking about doing a live stream. I bought those really spicy ramen noodles that I was telling you guys about, and they showed up. And it's just over here taunting me like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I'm like, "No, not really." But I think it'll be fun. And I think I've decided that I'm going to do a live stream, like it's going to be live. But we'll see. I still got to plan that out and figure out a time. I also did talk to Irate Bear about doing the Overlord stream, and I believe we're going to do it this Sunday, but I'll let you guys know once I confirm that. So that's what I've been up to.
All right. Monkey, what have you been up to?
I did a very late Monkey in the Morning stream today because I was tired when we got off here, and I said, I'll play Skylines for just a couple of minutes. And it was 2 o'clock, and like, fuck, I need bed. And I got a little bit of sleep, and I woke up. I'm like, should I do it? It's kind of late. Fuck it, I'll do it. And I was joined by Satsu and Sinatra. We had a lot of fun on there. At least I did. And then I went back to bed because I'm tired a lot. And after about an hour, I went back to bed because I was a little bit dizzy. And after an hour, I was like, okay, I'm better. I got up and I watched Reservoir Dogs. And then I went back to sleep until just before the stream. That was it.
That's funny. Now Scribe's the only person.
What?
That's funny. I said you're the only one who didn't watch the thing that was requested of you now.
That's true.
Oh, well, I planned to, but I went to see Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
So insofar as myself, I didn't get a whole lot done today. I stayed home to work from home so that I'd have a shorter walk to the theater. And then after I got my work, I didn't even get all my work done because stuff got delayed. So I went to the movie, came back home, finished my work. And then by then it was only like an hour or two until showtime. And so I poked a little bit at a TEDx talk I'm looking at. I also found a, what was it called? It's some kind of like podcast or a radio show or something that is going to teach us how to leverage your white privilege and become an ally. And the lady doing the show starts out by saying how, I just want to, point out white people can be good allies, but now I'm not trying to be condescending. And then she proceeds to be exceedingly condescending. So it might be funny. We'll see. I got to watch a bit more of it. But yeah, so I'm poking around a couple things. Let's see. I think that's all there was to write. And just as a note, there won't be a Familiar with the Matter next weekend. Next Saturday, I won't be here. I'm going up to visit my folks. They're doing a early birthday thing for me because they're going to be out of the country for my birthday. So I won't be here next Saturday, just as a note for that. And I might need to figure something out for my birthday night when the time comes. But all that aside, fuck a tree. I don't really have any because I was busy all day. So Satsu, what do you got?
Let's see. Did I just see funny shit, or was there actual fuck a tree today? Let me see. I'm scrolling down real quick just to see, because I don't think I've seen anything fuck a tree outside of. There's a lot of people on my Facebook page posting the fact that Trump endorses vaccines now, I guess. He was basically like, yeah, these people need to get vaccinated. And some of them were like, oh, look, Trump can say smart things. And then other people were doing their best to figure out a way to say that this is bad, but not really bad. I guess they were trying to figure it out, but couldn't quite get it down. Outside of that, I don't think I really seen anything. Just stupid shit.
Well, it is internet fuckatry, so it's all pretty much stupid shit.
Yeah.
But Monkey, how about you?
Yeah, I have some, but hang on. I'm typing out something, which is kind of depressing.
You're typing out something. Okay, well, be careful. We know how much of a strain spelling is for you.
Well, no, trying to talk and type is different.
Okay.
Well, this person just asked. Well, they asked this 4 hours ago. If Twitter shut down tomorrow, what would be left? What would you have accomplished? What would your impact be?
Oh.
Something, or just the tail end of meaningless yelling into the wind? Things I'm thinking about today. I'm simply pointing out a depressing fact most of you don't want to know. If most of us disappeared tomorrow, other than the people we know, our relatives, our friends, most of the world wouldn't even give a fuck. They wouldn't even know we were here.
Yep.
So to act like, oh my God, if Twitter was gone, would I have had any meaning? Stop putting so much fucking emphasis on everything doesn't have to be about how you're making the world better. You know what? Sometimes it's meaningless fucking fun. Me sitting in front of a TV or sitting in front of a computer playing a video game isn't meaningful. Me going to work at a factory job isn't meaningful because they could get anybody else to fucking do it. Stop it. You're not that important in the world. Enjoy your life while you have it, shitbags. Sorry.
Nope, I agree. I was thinking the other day, in the grand scheme of things, if my YouTube channel disappeared tomorrow, there'd be maybe a couple hundred people that might be down about it. But what was lost in the grand scheme, in the sea of sand in which I am a single grain, what impact, And that kind of goes back to like, oh, what do you hope your channel does? I've been asked that a bunch of times, and
How many people do we know, Scribe, that we're in this when you and I started, who've disappeared that we've just fucking forgot ourselves? Every so often I'll come across them and, oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened to me too. Like a couple people who like did it for a while and then kind of like real life caught up with them and they dropped out, or just who I haven't heard from or about forever. And that doesn't. I mean, that's not to be down on them or anything. I mean, they got lives, they got other things going on. But this is, unless you're very as far as Twitter or YouTube goes or anything else, aside from just a distraction or a form of entertainment, really, or maybe a form of communication, depending on how you do it. It's all fairly meaningless,
Stop ruining everything with deep thoughts. Jesus, fuck.
Okay. All right. So give me your deep thoughts about Reservoir Dogs.
Wait, I got a couple more real quick.
Oh, okay. All right.
Michael Avenatti has been quoted as saying, I've been humbled significantly after a year in the spotlight.
Oh, no.
Shut up, you're going to jail. No, the one I really wanted to talk about just real quick. Amy Siskind, I know I've mentioned her before. She said, "We were curious why Trump regime is so desperate to add the citizenship question. The Census Bureau found Hispanic turnout surged from 27% in 2014 to 40% in 2018, the largest increase of any group. Latino voters supported Democrats by wide margins." Now, what do you think about what she just said there?
Yeah, voters, they have to be citizens to vote.
Yes. She thinks Trump wants to do that. The only way that would matter, is if the Latinos who are voting are illegal.
Yeah.
That's the only way it would matter. Because otherwise, they're already citizens and it doesn't fucking matter, you crazy bitch.
Yeah, and if they are voting, they're committing voter fraud.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, the census question will have no effect on legitimate voters, whether they be Latino or otherwise.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I had.
All right. Well, then. Monkey, tell me about your experience with Reservoir Dogs.
It's a Tarantino film. So
the first one, yes.
The style and everything was very, very familiar.
Yes.
And I kind of liked it in this because I told you yesterday I like Pulp Fiction and I like the fact that it jumps all around.
Mm-hmm.
And this one doesn't do it as bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the flashbacks. My problem with the flashbacks in this one is I wasn't sure I could trust them.
Okay.
Because of the nature of what was going on.
Sure.
Which that part that haunted me till near the end of the movie. Like, did what I see actually happen? And once I figured that out, I was okay with them. Because like the first scene where you see one is when Mr. Pink, he was asked how he got away.
Mm-hmm.
Shot his way out. Well, we still don't know, if anything is true. Yeah. So when I'm watching, I'm like, is this really what happened? Do I care? But for a Tarantino film, the only part that bothered me and started to bother me was when the cop's ear got cut off.
Okay.
But they panned away from it, so it's not like we had to watch it in excruciating detail like you might a Tarantino film today.
Yes.
So that one wasn't bad, and that's the part that almost killed it for me because they, the cop screaming and when he got his face cut up to one side, and then he goes in and he pops out and you see this chunk of meat and it's like, okay, that's a little, but they still didn't show it, so I was okay.
Yeah, well, that was one of the parts that was the most freaky for me when I first saw it. Because I remember when this came out, this was before there were any other Tarantino movies. So this movie was like the template for everything that came afterwards. So at the time, it was very new, very sort of innovative way of telling a story, or at least the kind of material. And so when they panned away from that, not seeing it was more horrible than if you'd actually seen it because, the imagination runs. And that's what made it all the more significant to me. Plus the music that was playing, because it's like this poppy sort of happy song stuck in the middle with you. And he's just torturing this guy. I
hated the music in the movie.
You did?
I did. I'm not a fan. There's only one of the songs that I like, and I don't know the name of that song.
Okay.
So when it goes ooga ooga, that one.
Hookah chaka, hookah, hookah, hookah. Yeah, that's I Can't Stop This Feeling. That's from Guardians of the Galaxy, made that famous a second time.
No, I did that. My mom used to listen to that way back when I was a kid, which is probably the reason that one I liked. But otherwise, yeah, the music in this film, like, I hate that. I hate Stuck in the Middle with You. I fucking hate that song. Let's see.
We're quick. Thank you, Pincalo. Did you understand the significance of the live rat?
Live rat. I'm not sure what you're referencing there.
Well, a rat appears in the at one point, and of course, part of the whole crux of the movie is there was a rat in the
I
team.
didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh. And you mentioned something about the dogs would be significant, but I didn't catch that either.
Oh, when he has to memorize that story to tell the guys, and he walks in on the canine dog unit guys in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now, I don't know that that has anything to do with the title, but there were dogs in the movie. Like people were like, that movie didn't have anything to do with dogs. I was like, yeah, well, there are dogs in the movie, and they're significant. So,
Dog. There's dog.
well, dog, sure.
What was the other thing I was going to say? I think they brought the letting you know who the rat was too soon.
Okay.
That, or they should have ended the movie sooner.
Hmm.
Because that's there's still like 25 minutes of the movie left when you find out he's the one.
Yeah.
And then with Mr. I hated the ending because it makes no sense why Mr. White would trust that guy over him, over Joe.
Well, to me, it made sense because he'd taken a liking to the kid when they went around, and he was like showing him the ropes and everything and talking to him and everything. Is the idea that he actually convinced Mr. White that he was legit. And so the suspicion of him being the rat didn't make any sense to him because of they're going around together, and he played his role as the undercover guy really well.
That still doesn't make sense. I mean, you've been with Joe forever, and he had to be convinced that there was a rat in the first place. Mr. Pink actually has to talk him into it, and then he's fine. Okay, you're right. There's one. So then Pinkologist said something because he was a rat, or they were both rats.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of entered my mind, except for what happens at the very, very end, because it would make no sense for him to get himself shot. White thought it was his fault that he got shot. Even if he did, I mean, it makes no sense to throw all of that out the window for this kid you've known for a couple of months. It made no sense to me. Not a bad movie overall. I mean, I wouldn't like turn it off if it was on again, but I was so glad there wasn't a Tarantino moment in this film.
Oh, I mean, there were a couple of signature moments, like when they open up the trunk and they're looking down in it, that kind of thing.
No, a Tarantino moment for me is one where I have to skip it if I'm watching it. Somebody getting raped, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, the closest he came was the ear cut off, which wasn't too bad.
All right. Well, at least you finally watched it. Now you just have to watch all of The Shield, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I have to, because I'm going to do that in here, because there's no way I'm going to be able to do it trying to lay down in bed, which means I have to replace my DVD player.
Replace your DVD player?
Yeah.
Because your drive doesn't work in your computer.
Yeah. And I want to watch it on my small screen, and if I try to do it with the PlayStation, it'll take over the big screen, which means I can't do anything anyway, so.
I see. So you're going to play video games while you're watching The Shield? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take what I can get, I suppose. Let's see. Anything else, deep topic or otherwise, we want to discuss?
Hang on. Was there any other fucketry? Because I want to say there was one. Oh, I wanted to read this one, and we talked about it this morning. Jimmy Acosta. Hello, Jimmy. He tweeted out today Trump's defense of his, quote, very fine people comment on Charlottesville. Quote, people were there protesting the taking down of the monument of Robert E. Lee. Everybody knows that. And then Jim added this. Fact check. There were many neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Those two things don't necessarily cancel each other out.
Yeah,
it's CNN.
Myself again.
It's the tweet version of he's right, but
yeah,
I did.
Well, technically true.
Yeah, technically true. Mr. Nobody No, I didn't watch the deleted scenes. As I said, I had to buy this on Amazon so I could watch it because my DVD player in here is broken. So yeah. I didn't get to see it. Although I did think about, I may go back and watch it because if you get something on Amazon Prime, Remember, you and me have talked about this before, Scribe. You get these little bubbles of things that aren't about the people and the places and everything.
Yeah.
So I may go back and watch it that way.
Kind of like pop-up video.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Oh man, you made me sad.
I did.
You did. Because I start watching this movie and I'm like, holy shit, that's Chris Penn.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Chris Penn in a movie since Footloose, for fuck's sake.
Yep. And now he's dead.
Yeah. So I go to look him up, like, what's he doing now? Like, he's been dead for 12 years. Okay.
Yeah. He's been gone for quite a while. He killed himself, I believe, or at least something.
All of the reports say that it was unspecified heart disease.
Okay. I think I read somewhere it was something else, but either way. Yeah, he was the voice of one of the cops in GTA San Andreas.
Yeah, he was the white cop, the one that hung out with Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, but I haven't heard his name. And I loved him in Footloose, and I always thought that he was the better actor of the Penn brothers. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's like, God damn it, he's dead. Fuck. Anyhow. You made me sad, Scribe.
I'm sorry.
He did a really good job in this film, too.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, everybody in that, you want to talk about an ensemble cast. Everybody except for Mr. Blue, because he was there for like 5 seconds and never saw him again.
Right. The only acting I didn't like, and it's probably because he's not an actor, was Tarantino himself.
Oh, he wasn't there very long either.
No, but him at the beginning, he was annoying.
Well, yeah, he was annoying, but that Madonna speech still is classic at this point to me.
Peter, isn't he the cop in Colors too? Yeah, you know what? You're right. So I have probably seen him in some, but I've seen Footloose since I've seen Colors. I haven't seen Colors since I was 12.
Alrighty. Well, then I'll start a little early, guys. It's chat time. If you have questions, comments, complaints, concerns, if there's anything about Reservoir Dogs that you love or hate, or a Tarantino movie you would recommend otherwise, please put in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have just statements you'd like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. And remember, after the stream over on 2 Cents Plus, Monkey and Satsu are going to be finishing up Borderlands and have a copy of Civilization 5 to give away. So be sure to watch that. Harvest Marvis says, the events surrounding the I knew it line in Endgame, yay or nay. Also, ass, yes or no, LOL. I know what line you're talking about. I know what situation you're talking about. Yeah, again, there's that, and any couple dozen other small things within that movie are complete payoffs for people who've been watching the movie series for the last 11 some odd years. There's a lot of good moments in there that mean a lot to people who've been fans of the movies, and that one was a really good one. I kind of saw it coming. There's 3 or 4 things I saw and had already predicted is going to happen in this movie. How they got to them, I couldn't know, and how they got to them here was really well done. But that was one of them for sure. I was expecting something around that subject to occur, but I won't say nothing about it. Let's see. RJ Band's a ranting monkey. Worst thing to do with that rat.
With what rat?
From Reservoir Dogs, I guess.
Worst thing to do with him? I
don't know. Check your logic. Should I watch Reservoir Dogs or Endgame? Yes.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. Ebony Williams, Lords of the Night. Which theme song from a TV show brings tears to your eyes and or makes you super happy or nostalgic?
None bring tears to my eyes. But
yeah.
Nostalgic. God, any of them from the late 70s, early 80s. Like, I always have to look it up to think about it. But the one from, what is it? With Mr. Drummond and Arnold and
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes. Thank you.
It takes different strokes to rule the world. Yes, it does. It takes. Yeah.
Any of the ones that were written by Alan Thicke, like
oh yeah,
he wrote the Facts of Life one. Good Times, the Jeffersons, so many.
Quantum Leap, Greatest American Hero. Airwolf. Do 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 do. There's a whole bunch. I'm sure there's like Law and Order. I mean, that one I always like the original Law and Order. That one I get like that one too. Let's see. Harvest Marvels. Did you guys talk about the woman who had to be rescued after she glued her boobs to pavement to protest climate change? I think somebody sent us that story, but I didn't get to it.
Is that real?
That is the thing that happened.
I'll just answer in the chat.
That's kind of funny because I just watched Reservoir Dogs where they told the story about the guy getting his dick glued to his stomach.
Peter says, so who do you think will be the villain in the next Marvel movie? Mysterio.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, because we know already. We already know who the next villain will be. So.
Although I don't consider that to be a true Spider-Man, so...
Yeah, well...
It's not Mysterio. Where the fuck's his helmet? Fuck are y'all doing?
I hate it when they... I mean, obviously, okay, so if you have an actor playing a particular character, conceivably you should show their face, except V for Vendetta. You don't need to show the actor's face to have a memorable character, even if it's just a voice and a body acting for the sake of things. So when they keep taking off Captain America's mask or Mysterio's helmet or find a reason to have this ripped off of somebody's face or something, like, I get it. There's a lot of acting that goes on in the face and the eyes and everything else. I understand. But these are superheroes. If they have a mask as part of their ensemble, keep it on for most of the movie, okay? If they're running around in their secret identities, that's different. But just, yeah.
Well, the problem there is, one, we have actors all the time. We never see their faces. They're in cartoons.
Yeah.
Two, these are characters that we've learned to love, and you get the emotions from a fucking page. From a fucking page on a flat page where you don't see any of it. It's them in their say take Captain America. It's how his jaw and everything moves. You know, You don't actually see his eyes or anything. They just know. They're doing it so that they can show us who that actor is. And stop it, you're fucking everything up.
Dom O'Leary says, Lords of the Night, I have a comment, complaint, and concern. Where the feck are the Mad Libs? One of my favorite bits. Well, the one night that I don't do it, they'll be back. Don't worry. Probably on Tuesday. You know, but I wanted to talk. No, I wanted to talk Reservoir Dogs with Monkey.
I think it's hilarious that people in the chat, there are people who absolutely fucking hate the Mad Libs, and then there are people who are like, "What happened to the Mad Libs? They're so fun."
Yeah. Well, it's a divisive subject, Satsu, and that's what we do here. Clearly. We divide people, divide and conquer. And then my chat jumped. Yay. Let's see. RJ Bansma, which version of GTA has the best cheat codes? I don't cheat at GTA, so I don't know.
San Andreas, son. San Andreas had the best. They were fun.
Hot coffee.
Hot coffee. Well, I always heard about hot coffee. I never actually used it.
I mean, I don't use cheat codes.
Yeah. Harvest Marvels, have any of you seen the second season of Cobra Kai yet? I didn't even see all the first season because I didn't want to pay for YouTube. So I'm sure it's good. The bits and pieces that I've seen that they're bringing back the sensei from Cobra Kai in the movie. He's old, but he still makes a menacing character. So it might be interesting.
I hated how they ended season 1, and I get what they're going for. They have to have some, conflict and everything, but Scribe, I know you haven't seen it. I'm not trying to ruin anything for you, but the majority of the conflict comes from misunderstanding.
Sure.
And that's retarded for a movie like this, or a show like this, because we're not in the movie anymore where you have to get everything out in an hour and a half, and one misunderstanding is okay. But no, this is the whole fucking thing. Every time Daniel and Johnny get together, there's some misunderstanding. Like that's a stupid plot device to use every goddamn time. And I get it. They don't like each other, so it makes it so they're distrusting of each other. But stop it. Come on. Come up with something better than that. You're better than that, or you not?
Your boy Pat says, hey, everybody, just landed safely. Yay!
Yay!
You weren't flying a Boeing 737, apparently. Yay!
Scribbles, before you get too much further from it, Black Romeo said some very nice stuff about us. and I want to address that if that's okay.
Complimenting us, go ahead.
Well, he's responding to what we were saying earlier about us, being able to disappear and stuff. And he says, I disagree. To think that the things you guys do is meaningless is just wrong. People's lives have been changed by you guys. I wouldn't call that meaningless. And I understand what you said. And he goes on to list some things that we've done that have influenced our audience or even our own lives, like Little Butts Barbie house. You're right. Without you guys, that would never have happened. But here's what I mean by this. 5 years from now, if we disappeared tonight, and 5 years from now, your life would have moved on. There may be a time that you got together with some of the people who you met through this, and you might actually go, yo, you remember Scribe and Monkey and Satsu? But it's not something that would be on your mind daily like it is now when you watch every night. Our minds do this. I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or it's just the way the human mind works, but out of sight, out of mind is a real thing.
Well, we'll only start having problems in that regard if, because of this show or our channels or something, two people meet and then have a child.
And name it Monkey.
Well, yeah, that was always sort of like the hallmark of this silly thing that I take part in has actually changed someone's life in a demonstrable, dramatic way, as in there is a new life that's been created because for no other reason these two people were connected because of this thing I was doing. That's when sort of it makes it tangible, or at least in the extended way. So,
but even then, how often are they going to think, "Oh yeah, I named this kid after the show I used to watch"? I mean,
Peter Stylike 313. What was the last movie that choked you up or made you tear up? Endgame. I'm not even kidding. There were parts in Endgame, like I said, you will appreciate that movie so much more and have so much more emotional impact on you if you've been keeping up with the other movies over the last decade. Because man, there are some heart punches in that movie, and not just literally. Let's see. Sarah Plyer says, I wouldn't know what to do with my time traveling to work. Well, we take up the empty air.
Look, I'm by no means saying we're not important.
I know.
You guys know how I feel about myself.
Yeah. No. So it's okay. Let me, or at least for myself, I'll clarify. I'm not undervaluing people's appreciation of the show or the content that we make or anything else. But as anyone who's watched this show or watched my videos for a while now knows, I am my own worst critic. I'm very, let's say, cognizant of staying away from buying my own press. So I already undervalue sort of instinctually a lot of the stuff that I do or the impact that we have. But that being said, from things that have come about from this show, relationships that have been forged, people that we've been able to help with fundraisers and things like that, and just the private messages I get from people about some of the stuff that I've done or the conversations I've had with them, I know that we have a lot of people out there that really appreciate us, and I appreciate them for that. There's no facetiousness there at all. But at the same time, like Monkey said earlier, you don't want to get too far up your ass about it, and it's a balancing act, and self-deprecation, to a certain extent keeps us honest, but I don't want anybody to think that, my self-deprecation is meant to be directed at people who enjoy my stuff, like how dare you or something. That's not what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. I mentioned this when I was talking about this originally. I want to entertain you guys. If everybody gets together and that's wonderful. But my job here is to keep you entertained. And I don't want you to sit here thinking about how this is going to affect your life or how it has affected. I want you to sit here and enjoy the show and listen to what we're saying and laugh along with us or get outraged along with us, because I like to create outrage mobs.
Sanguine says, thank you, Sanguine. Due to you, Lot, minions, and a score of other groups have been formed. Yeah, we know.
I don't take compliments well. Stop it.
Yeah, neither do I. As far as my stuff goes, the only thing that I hoped to come out of it, because I make videos basically for me, and I don't try to dictate by what other people like. But the only thing and I've said this before, if nothing else, if somebody watching my videos where God, I get really granular in dissecting these things people say sometimes. If nothing else, I hope people come away with a notion of thinking more critically about what people are saying to them. That's it. Whether you agree with what I have to say or not, just listen to what they're saying and really think about what it is, and also what they're saying and what they're not saying at the same time. The negative space around statements people make sometimes, as anybody who's been listening to me read CNN articles or doing TEDx talks forever will know, is sometimes as or more important than the words that are actually coming out of their mouths. So,
I just want people to laugh.
Yeah, there's that too. Dom O'Leary, Scribe, are you tapping? Not that I was aware of. Maybe. I don't know.
Satsu, were you tapping again?
Maybe.
Okay. Sarah Ply says, Scribe, I'm here because of Circus Zero. I'm glad I found you guys, all of you. Well, thank you, Sarah. Now this is going to be a love fest now, and Monkey's going to be uncomfortable. Of course, Monkey's life is discomfort, so whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Check Your Logic says, is it fair to say you've changed my 2018 after discovering you guys and loving your content as a way to distract from myself from that one friend of mine who got famous that I felt out of place around? Is it fair to say that? I don't know. That's up to you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not fair to say that kind of stuff. I mean, I look back at like my high school years. There were people who had a big impact on me in high school. You know how often I think about them today?
Yeah. Let's see. Orpheus Telos, Lords of the Night. Are the minions part of the Lords of the Night extended universe? Yes. Sure. Why not?
We have a pretty big extended universe.
Yeah, at this point.
Because we're awesome.
Yeah.
The minions are our Frasier.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Wait,
go ahead.
So wasn't Frasier bigger than Cheers?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the ratings were or something. I think Cheers is probably a more sentimental favorite than Frasier ended up.
Oh, sure. But I think ratings wise, yeah, Frasier eventually passed them.
Yeah, probably.
And I hope that for the minions, but I'm just saying.
I'm just waiting for Diesel Dave and Eric to start their truckers podcast or whatever, because I think that'll be a hit. Man, I tell you what, I've said it before. There are a lot of opinionated, passionate truck drivers out there.
I like to think we're Happy Days and the minions are Mork and Mindy.
Oh, there you go. God, that was such a weird spinoff.
Wasn't it a fucking alien spinoff?
I know,
of a 50s
yeah.
TV show.
First off, that he showed up on Happy Days in the first place. Happy Days, 50s. That show is so bizarre when you look back on it now. Frosted Glass, thoughts on the Captain Marvel rocket sex scenes in Endgame? Oh man. Furry sex. Yeah. Brie Larson. Oh.
Did we talk about the controversy around that? Around the Rocket Raccoon, where they were like, he got more screen time than Brie Larson.
Well, not that they got more screen time, but it was nerds liked him more. They cared more about him than Brie Larson.
Well, he did get more screen time than Captain Marvel. I'll give you at least.
So I didn't.
That's not a spoiler so much, but yeah, he was there because he was more important to the story. In fact, because he was the only Guardian of the Galaxy to survive the snap. So, as a representative of that franchise, yeah, he had a lot of screen time. Just saying.
Well, that's what the complaint was. They were complaining that he had more screen time than her because they're like, how this? Yeah,
totally. Because he's a better character.
We didn't talk about that. We talked about that other one, that bitch who was complaining because nerds care more about this character, and because we talked about the feat of that, how much more impressive it is to make a believable fucking walking, talking raccoon than to just throw a suit on a flat-butted chick and bring in an ass double when you need to see it.
Travis Gardner says, "How about Ghost Poo?" Ghost Poo isn't a spinoff of us, I don't think.
No, they're They're a cheap copycat.
That's what it is. That's what it is. They're the Justice League to our Avengers. Now they're gonna love that when they hear me. If they hear that, they're gonna
Somebody
love
clip that and tell them.
Yeah. Let's see. Pinkala says, "Did you guys watch No Bullshit's video about the Endgame cast hates Brie Larson?" You know, I don't think I've watched many No Bullshit videos before, but for whatever reason, I clicked on that one, and holy shit, those press junket interviews are so cringe. I mean, unless those guys are doing some long con trolling for the world or something, how Don Cheadle and Jeremy Renner reacted around her was incredible. Because if they were being honest, they hate her. Oh, shit. Yeah, really, look up No Bullshit's video on Endgame Brie Larson cast thing. And just the bits and pieces he shows, it's like, damn. She really ticked him off. The one in particular that got me was she's sitting there with Jeremy Renner, and she's talking to the person interviewing them, and she's very chipper and bright and everything, and looking, her eyes really big, and she's talking about how she wants to use this role as a platform to send a message, and da-da-da-da. And Jeremy Renner's kind of sitting there looking kind of uncomfortable. He's looking off to the side. He's not really looking towards her or at her. And then when it comes to him to answer, he's like, you know, I just like playing the role. I don't really think of it as using it as a platform. What I'm more happy about and grateful for is the kids and how much they love this stuff and how many smiles it brings to their faces. And
you can also, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're done.
Polydub and them talked about this over on his stream 2 streams ago. So not 2 days ago, but 9 days ago, if you go over to Polydub's channel where they do the comic book curation one, they talked a bunch about the whole Brie Larson thing and how much those people hate her.
Oh man, I hadn't seen those clips before. It was amazing. Thank you, Sanguine. It is amazing that we can make a CG raccoon that feels so real and seems alive while a woman in a suit has all the character and feel of a blow-up doll, but less use. Damn.
Ouch. But is he wrong?
Well, like I say, not a spoiler, but you know, there are characters in movies and actors who have roles that are very, very small, and that they make an amazing impact just with the little bits that they've got. At least for the sake of Endgame, Brie Larson is not one of those actors, and the emotional roller coaster of Rocket Raccoon in this. It's, if you've seen the first, if you've seen Infinity War and you see this now, yeah, that character is a whole character, and kudos to the animators and designers of that character for really bringing a talking raccoon to life and making it work so well.
Romeo just said, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Brie was good in Room. She let that go to her head. I haven't seen No Bullshit's video, and I've seen very little of the press junket thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see the part of her talking about how this is her platform, and she feels like this is her platform. This bitch takes herself way too seriously.
Yeah.
And we've seen this before with I swear to God, she's going to be the next Jodie Foster.
Oh,
I only do things that are impactful in the world. I choose my roles very carefully. Fuck off. You're an actress. Do your job or don't do your job. Stop giving me the shit. I have a platform. I have to use it very, very importantly.
Richard Moreau says, Scribe Light, should I see Captain Marvel before Endgame? Absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. There's almost, if you know even the tiniest bit, if you watch the trailer for Captain Marvel, or just like watch 3 of the biggest trailers for Captain Marvel, you know everything you really need to know to go into Endgame and save yourself the ticket or price of going to watch Captain Marvel and the time. So honestly, I didn't feel like I didn't know anything about her. And again, just from watching the trailers and what little bit I've heard from people, I saved myself the time and money of going to see that movie. Let's see. Jack Gunsky says, I think Brie Larson really thinks she's Captain Marvel. Like literally she thinks she's Captain Marvel. I don't know. Frosted Glass says, if Ghost Poo Podcast is Justice League, which one of them has the digitally removed mustache? Bear.
Sinatra.
It's not true. I don't know. I always thought Bear had a very suspicious upper lip because he's the only upper lip of the three that I can see.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, I can't remember if I've ever seen Sinatra's face.
I don't believe I have, and certainly not Drunkles. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never seen Drunkles, but Sinatra was over there with Misa and went to Bear's place, and I want to say I saw a picture of Sinatra there, and I thought he had.
They were both at my house too. We had live stream together.
There you go. Does he have a mustache?
He looks like a hipster.
So he has a hipster mustache.
Oh no!
So that needs to be digitally removed. Sinatra, what are you doing, man? Get rid of the hipster shit. No wonder you had a stroke.
He's gonna be so mad.
Dark Alile says, isn't the old saying there are no small players, just small parts, or do I have that mixed up? Well, I thought it was there are no small parts, only small actors, basically, or something like that. Yeah,
I thought it was there are no small penises, only big vaginas.
Like a baseball bat in a garbage can. Anyway. Let's see. Check Your Logic says, am I the only one who thinks no bullshit sounds like Jack? Which Jack? Nicholson? Gunsky? I don't know.
Cochran, maybe, because he's on my show a lot. He's the only one I could tell you whose voice sounds like what. And I don't know. I haven't watched no bullshit video in a while. I'm still subscribed, but yeah, guys, you wouldn't believe how many videos I'm subscribed to I don't watch.
Yeah. Shio Gorath. Oh my gosh, Shio Gorath. Haven't seen you for a while. What's your biggest strength and worst weakness? Biggest strength and worst weakness. My biggest strength is probably my logical thinking, and my biggest weakness is 5 foot tall redheads.
My biggest, what's that?
Female.
Good catch.
Yeah.
My biggest strength is undoubtedly my confidence. I have a lot of them. I do. I'm a very nice man. But yeah, my confidence is my biggest strength. My biggest weakness, my confidence.
Satsu.
I guess if I had to pick a strength, it would probably be my observation skills.
If I had to, you better give me your biggest weakness properly, motherfucker.
You know what my biggest everybody knows what my biggest weakness is.
Anime titties.
Damn.
Yes, dim titties though. No, it's pessimism.
Thank you, Diesel Dave. Like a hot dog down a hallway. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
Real
Manat.
quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's thank you. He's been asking that for a while, so we need to address this.
Okay. Why was Mr. Pink called Mr. Pink? Because Joe, the runner of the operation, just randomly handed out names and pseudonyms to all of the people in the team so that nobody would know what anyone's real name was. And Mr. Pink just ended up falling to Mr. Pink. So that's it.
Well, he's also been asking if he's gay, because there's the part where Joe said, because he asked, why am I Mr. Pink? And he goes, because can't use the word on stream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're a homosexual. Is he actually a homosexual? They don't give you any other clues other than that word.
Yeah.
At that time. So I can't tell you.
It's irrelevant to the story. Sarah Plyer says, I'm 5 foot tall with light brown hair and triple assets.
Triple D assets.
Oh, triple D assets. Sorry. Does that work? Yeah, but you're involved. And I have a very strong sense of, I don't mess around with other people. Well,
unless invited.
Okay, that was a thing that I did that one time. And there was those other couples. Okay, so it has something I have done before, but I've certainly sworn off of it at this point. Let's see.
Oh,
let's see.
I'm sorry. I'm reading your chat and I'm taking over your chat time. Peter, I think are you guys talking about Sinatra, or are you guys talking about no bullshit? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Mono Winter says, Lords of the Night, is Monkey a bonobo monkey?
The best thing, the closest thing to me would be a squirrel monkey if you actually look at the monkeys and look at my monkey head.
Pincala says, but Scribe, if she sends you pics, it's not really your fault. That is true, but
it's how you respond.
It's how you respond to it, And yeah, I don't. I've never actually requested pictures of anybody on Twitter unless it's like a Jordan 250. Hey, make a meme of this kind of thing.
Right. What the fuck we look like Onision?
Exactly.
Look. If a grown ass woman sent me pictures of her titties, I would look, and then I would show Lady Monkey, and we'd have a laugh, and I'd delete them. Okay, Peter, I'm sorry. I want to address this crap. I'm sorry. He says he's talking about no bullshit. And what they were talking about is his voice is fake in his videos compared to when you hear him talk in real life. That is not a fair assessment. I'm just throwing that out there because if you go back and go listen to any one of my videos, even the last one I did, and then listen to me talking right now, I sound different.
Yeah.
I just do. It's the difference between recording yourself and just being able to speak freely.
Yeah. Like when I read my stuff, I'm reading from a script and I'm enunciating, and oftentimes I'm re-recording lines because I'll fuck something up and I'll go back and reread it again to make sure that I'm clear about what I'm saying and it makes sense to me as I'm saying it out loud. Because oftentimes what I write down and how it sounds when it's spoken are completely different outcomes. Yeah, there is a difference when you're not talking off the cuff. So, and some people they fall into that cadence when they are doing a live recording or something, but they're doing a presentation. It's just something that you sort of adapt or adopt as you go.
Yeah, and sorry, they're like, no, you still, you guys. I'm not trying to make you watch no bullshit. I'm just saying that the whole thing that he puts on an act there, I've never bought that. I've heard it before.
And even if it is, so what?
I've just heard too many people where if you watch their videos and then you watch them live, they sound so different. The voice,
Mr. Medicare's like that for me.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Well, okay, unless somehow they are portraying themselves as something they're not on some sort of deceptive basis, rather than like playing a character on their channel or something. If they have a video voice and they have their conversational voice. Have you ever heard Gilbert Gottfried speak for real?
Yes. It's weird.
Yeah, you can have a performance voice and you can have a real voice. For example, just for the sake of being dirty, because I'm a dirty guy, a long time ago, for a very brief time, I dated a stripper, and I met her at a bachelor party, of course. And at the bachelor party, when she was doing her stuff, she had this very sort of high-pitched, sort of whispery, sort of, sexy girl voice, right? Well, that's not the voice she uses when she's just her. And in her own mind, that helped her, and she told me about this, and it's actually true because it sort of falls in the same line with doing some of the role-playing, the LARPing I've done in the past. When you're not wearing a costume, and as a stripper, oftentimes you're not wearing much of anything, your voice can be a kind of mask, a kind of costume. Because if you assume a different cadence and a different tone to your voice, you can sort of also mentally assume a different persona. And for her, that was her working voice. And then there was, the voice of her, normal everyday thing. So some people just have that either intentionally or unintentionally when they're doing something like presenting stuff or being an entertainer. So there you go for that.
Just saying I'm not trying to get you to watch. I'm just saying I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Okay. And everything jumped. Sorry, guys. Midnight Exile. Did the stripper chick have issues with compartmentalization of persona? Sort of. She wanted to be able to, the person that she is when she's working is not the same person as her real life. She wanted to have a little bit of mental insulation between these two things because of just the nature of the business, I guess.
Sure.
I can't get more deeply psychological than that. Let's see. We only got it. Oh, it's already at the top of the show. Sorry, guys.
Well, real quick before we leave, there's an update. The boy who was thrown off the balcony in Mall of America, he's alert and conscious.
Good.
Thank God.
I hope that also means that he's going to make a full recovery.
Don't you mean the boy who fell off the
Oh,
side?
those stories. Yeah, it was. I think it was Sinatra who kept saying, "You spelled thrown off wrong."
Yes.
Whatever. It's just like,
This story is from CNN, and they actually used "thrown off" in the headline. So,
all right. Well, all right, guys. Well, with that positive news, and after all of our, explications of our personal inner deepest feelings about voices and appreciation and everything else, we appreciate you. And thank you guys for coming out and joining us tonight, as you guys always do. You guys are, if you realize it or not, the best audience in the world that we could possibly hope for. Moderators, thank you for watching things, even though everybody is very well behaved here. And everybody who donated, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for your generosity. Really, I do appreciate it. Remember, guys, over on 2 Cents Plus, right after this, you can go watch Monkey and Satsu finish up Borderlands, and you may have a chance to win a copy of Civilization 5. And also remember, per usual, tomorrow night we'll be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. But aside from that, anything that I've missed, guys?
no, sounds like everything.
All right. Well, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, your lives make our lives so much better. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
And if there are any 5-foot redhead girls out there, you can send pics. I don't care. That's fine.
I'll look at your boobies.
Single 5 foot.
Say single legal. Yeah. Let's see. So let's see. So I'm also going back to my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism. Random page. And okay, that's an interesting word. Today's secret word is proportions.
All right.
Hey, it's a word.